Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to begin by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to hopefully elect. So, this video, the title of this video will be Temptation Will Come, right? It's basically, just reiterating the things that, brothers already know, that temptation is inevitable, right? It's inevitable to avoid temptation. Why? Because we're in these fleshly bodies, right? And let's grab that in the book of Jude. These fleshly bodies are fully wicked, right? And that's why it's the spirit against the flesh. Let's see. So it's in the book of Jude. One and 6. Okay. So this is the book of Jude, chapter 1 and verse 6. It says, "And the angels which kept not their first estate," which is who? The elect, right? Their first estate being what? In the spiritual realm with Yahushua, right? Like Yahushua said, some of you were with me from the beginning, right? Meaning what? They were angels in the spiritual realm in the beginning. When Yahushua was creating the earth, he did what? The angels helped. If you can receive that or whatever. But it says, "And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness until the judgment of the great day." Right? So those everlasting chains, right, reserved in everlasting chains, are these fleshly bodies. Right? We can't escape temptation. We can't escape, the wickedness that comes with these fleshly bodies, right? Which is why Paul, said what he was saying. I think it's in 2 Corinthians, if I'm not mistaken. It's in Romans, Romans 7. Right, the conflict in two natures. Like it says, we'll just start right here. Verse 14, Romans 7:14, it says, "For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin," right? These fleshly bodies, we're carnal, right? It says, "For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that I do not, that do I not. But for what I hate, that I do." So we hate anything that goes against the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And I know I'm jumping around, but just flowing through the spirit, getting these precepts. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 109 and verse 104. It says, "Through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way." So we hate every false way, which is anything that's contrary of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But us being in these fleshly bodies, it said, what does it say in verse 15? That it says, "But what I hate, that do I." So these fleshly bodies, we can't escape it. We can't get away from it, right? We can't help but go off every once in a while, because every man goes off, right? The only man who did it perfectly is Yahushua, which is why he was that perfect sacrifice, right? Which also goes into why Yahushua deserves to be worshipped, right? I was watching a video earlier, and the rapper NLE Choppa was talking about how, maybe I'll just do a video on that in a separate. Maybe that'll be the next lesson, Lord willing. Lord willing, I remember to clip that. But he was basically going into how, we don't need to. Well, he was falsely going into how He believes that we don't need to worship the Son, right? You only should worship the Father. Well, that makes no sense, because what? He is the mediator. He is the mediator, right? He's above us, right? The scriptures tell you what in the order it goes: the Father, the Son, the man, then the woman, right? So he's above us. He deserves it. He's the mediator. We can't get to the Father but by him, you know. But I'm starting to veer off. So Lord willing, again, that would be my next lesson. But again, going back to Romans 7, right? Let's skip to verse 18. It says, "For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing." Right? So again, these fleshly bodies dwells no good thing, full of temptations. Right? You're going to be tempted to go off constantly. Right? It says, "For to will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good I find not." Because you're not going to find it in these fleshly bodies. You can only do it spiritually, man. That's why the scriptures tell you to stay spiritual. That's not what I want. This is what I want, natural man. This is 1 Corinthians 2:14. It says, "But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned." So a foolish man, meaning a fleshly man, a carnal man, is not going to mind the things of the Spirit of the Most High, which is why you have to stay in the Spirit, right? And again, Salakia, if I'm bouncing around too much. But it's all in the same spirit. This is Romans 8:6. It says, we'll start at 5. It says, "For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace." Right? So again, you have to try to stay spiritual as much as possible, because once you begin to become carnal, the temptations flood, right? Which leads me, back to, back on track, right? So this is Shirach 2:1. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation," man, because it's going to happen. If you come to serve Yahweh Shem Yahushua, those demons they gonna come after you, right? You think the elder apostles don't have demons that try to come after them on a constant basis? Of course. It's probably 10 times worse than you or you or I, right? Because again, temptations come on the daily, right? But you got let's read this one first, right? Because again, it's just going into the flesh, right? So this is Matthew 26:41. It says, "Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." Which again, it just keeps going back into the flesh, right? That's why you can't be carnal. You can't live into the flesh. You must understand that temptations lurk everywhere, man. That's why you have to limit yourself to certain things. So you have to decide, maybe I shouldn't go to this place. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Right? Because a prudent man foreseeth the evil, as the scriptures say. I think it's in the book of Proverbs. A prudent man foreseeth the evil. That's why you gotta walk circumspectly. Right? But this is important to know, because people get to, well, the scriptures also say, "Woe unto you who strive with the Most High," basically, roughly paraphrasing, basically saying, "Woe unto you people who try to question the Most High and His ways," right? Because that's very ignorant, right? But this is just further proving that. This is this is James 1, and I started 12. It says, "Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High. For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed." Now I continue. It says, "Then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin. And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death." Right? So you're tempted of your own lust. The same way that the Lord said, what? In the days of Noah, when he wanted to destroy the earth, he said, the hearts of the sons of men was fully evil, continually, right? Roughly paraphrasing. It's the same way it is now, man. The hearts of the sons of men is fully evil. So it's within man, it's within flesh, it's within carnality that you want to do wicked things. So it's not the Most High that's tempted you. You tempted of your own lust, the things that you want. Money, cars, clothes, women, especially women. It's all temptations, man. But again, it's not the Most High that's tempting you, right? The Most High is gracious, which is, and I'm going to end it with this, right? 1 Corinthians 10:13, it says, "They have no temptation taking you, but such as is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it," man. So he's going to make a way for you to be able to escape. He's not going to tempt you above that you're able to withstand. That scripture where it said, he give his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers, however the hell it goes. But that's true in a sense, because he's not going to tempt you above you're able, man. He always makes a way for you to escape. So again, this is just a reiteration that temptation will come, man. You just must endure. As the scriptures say, man, you got to endure to the end to be saved, man. Got to endure. All right, but I'm gonna stop right there. Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm gonna end by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who teach and preach this truth and sincerity. And shalom to the hopefully lit.